Hello, everyone. Hopefully, I might get some people coming in with me today. Um, we are on a fantastic Wednesday night. Um, Hopefully, everyone has happening a great and wonderful day. Uh, Having a lot of things happen around our house today. I got this guy showing off today. It looks like he really wanted to show off today. He really wanted to show off today. Okay, hope I can see the chat right over here. Okay, hopefully some people can come on, but this is for the movie review. This is for it. So I will say right now, there's probably going to be quite a bit of spoilers. I don't remember very well the second and third movie of this series, but I'll be talking a lot about the first of this series, which is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. A classic movie. I always thought this the theming of this synopsis wouldn't that be fantastic as like a land that we could like piece together, like you riding on a bee, flying around, going up and down, doing loops with a bee. And then they could have some other things. You could befriend a cute, oh, very large ant, which would have been really cool, and have adventures during your time at that park. That would be pretty fun. I would love that. And then maybe have like a tour of a house, like make an enlarged version of a house that you kind of like explore through. That would be kind of cool. I'm talking the house needs to be like 500 feet tall or something like that. Something's happening in the background. I don't know what. Vacuuming. Okay. Hopefully, some people will pop in. This is a movie review for Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. One, two, and three. So, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Honey, I Blew Up the Kids. And then, Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. Um, Now, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And okay, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and Honey, I Blew Up the Kids has basically the same synopsis, just in a different order. It seemed like uh, it was um, a lot of here and there, a lot of the same thing. That basically the same synopsis, but in different order of the first movie. The third one, people say. Wouldn't hurt watching because it gives a different synopsis. So I might be willing to watch that later on. I have seen it before, but it's been many years. Um, I cannot stress enough. This movie is a really good classic comedy Disney film that is mostly live action. I would say. Um, I did have a ride at one time that was based off of this so-called franchise, which was Honey, We Shrink the Audience. Fantastic. I got to see it once, if I remember correctly, when I was a lot younger. Don't remember it that well. Um, I do remember sitting in the theater room and then getting shrunk down. I remember doing it a little bit, not that much. It's kind of like the American Idol experience. I remember doing it, but not that much. Um, yeah, I always thought, why didn't they make a land out of this movie franchise? Because they could have made this huge. People would go towards it just to see the synopsis of having bigger animals, bigger, real, more real than life. Why not collab with, let's say, National Geographic? Have a real life, what they would look like if you were that small. Um, and probably won't be as bad as sometimes the graphics in this movie were a little bit, they made everything a lot more scarier on the side of the non-humans than they should have, in my opinion, probably counting the dog. It was a cute movie though. I was glad I watched this my like fifth or sixth time watching this movie for the original one. It is a classic. It is not his most famous film. That would have to be Spaceballs probably, but that's not Disney. Um, so comedic style of, let me see what his name was. Okay, so I'm going over here, and his name was. Cast. Rick Moranis is who I was thinking of. Um, yeah, I liked Nick Moranis, Rick Moranis in this movie a lot. Had a few other really pretty famous movie people, I would say probably. Marcia Strassman, she's been in a lot of other films. Matt Fewer, liked him a lot in this movie. Christy Sutherland, Mark L. Taylor, Kimmy Robinson, Frank Welker. Josh Gad was in this movie, it says. What was his role in this movie? Huh. I didn't know he was in this movie. Anyway, a lot of famous one, Rick Moranis was the main comedy style of this movie, and then there was a lot of other people. I didn't know Josh Gad was in this movie personally as a side or as a backup, I guess you'd call him. He was in the movie, I guess, somewhere. Can people tell me where he was in this movie for Henry Shrankert the Kids? That is kind of confusing me right there. I'm going to have to look that up. Oh. Welcome in. Welcome in.
Hey guys.
Hey guys, what's up?
Oh, you guys haven't been shrunk yet?
What'd you say?
I said you haven't been shrunk yet? Come on already.
No.
I think I've been. I mean, look behind me. That poster's huge.
Yes, he's been shrunk already. He shows it in the background. Maybe I should just look really small next to this big, huge statue beside me.
I can look like the big bugs. How you gentlemen doing tonight?
Doing great. I just looked at the cast of this movie, and that confused me because it says Josh Gad was in the movie. Where was he at?
Wait, which one though?
The first movie.
The first movie?
Yeah, that's right.
He must have been
1989.
Young. Maybe he was one of the friends.
He might have been.
Was he the father? Was he maybe the father of the neighbors?
No, he couldn't have been the father. He's young.
One of the kids?
He might have been one of the kids. He's really young, but Josh Gad is the guy who does the Frozen voice for Olaf. He's also Gaston's little sidekick in Beauty and the Beast. That's Josh Gad. But yeah, I didn't know he was in this movie too. What that confuses me. I was just about to look that up. I was like, what role did he play? That really got me thinking on this one, you know. It's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. The kids.
He says it. I'm looking at it. It says he's in it, but doesn't give his character name.
Yeah, exactly. Think about it. This was 1989, way before he was famous. Way before. I think he might have been just a stand-in, you know.
I'm thinking he was probably either a stand-in or a background character, stand-in, or one of the school friends, something like that. Because if this was in '89, I remember.
Exactly.
He's around the same age as me, so he had to be 9 years old.
Been one of his first films that I know of.
Yeah.
Yeah. that you know.
It doesn't really say.
Well, he is, because it gives a lot of information on Josh Gad being at Cher's update on Honey, I Shrunk the Kids film reboot. Also, they want Rick Moranis back. Good luck on that. He wants a little bit. I don't think he wants back. That's the problem. He doesn't want to act anymore. No. He's there. He doesn't want to act anymore.
Well, I did read somewhere, I think a couple years ago, or maybe last year, when the Ghostbusters thing came out, the new movie, he did say he didn't want to act because when his wife passed away, he was raising his daughter or his kids.
Okay.
And now, since his daughter's more grown up, he wouldn't mind. He wouldn't mind coming back, but it has to be a good script.
Well, this is what he's famous for.
Yeah.
What better script than what you got famous for at first time? Now, don't get me wrong. Who was it that played in Star Wars, but then regretted being in Star Wars because that's the only thing he's known for?
Was it Harrison Ford?
Harrison Ford or something. Yeah, I think it was Harrison Ford. Yeah. And then he's like, I want to be known as Indiana Jones, or something different other than Star Wars, but everyone's,
it's Han Solo.
Yeah, Han Solo. It's like, I don't blame him, but this franchise is not really that big. And I was talking about it beforehand. Another good idea, I'm thinking, why didn't they make a whole movie, not a movie, but a theme park devoted to this land? Wouldn't that be interesting?
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Yeah, why not?
They did.
They've had a ride, but not a whole land.
Well, now hold on a second, because I remember when I was a kid, they didn't have a ride. I mean, I don't know if they had a ride.
But they did have
something in the park.
It was a show. It was a show. It was kind of like.
No, we're not talking about a TV show. We're talking about a park.
Okay, so Honey, I Shrunk
it was actually a sit down. It was like the Bug's Life.
Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, and it was basically like Muppet Vision 3D in a way.
All right, yeah, they had that, but I thought they had something else too. They did have something.
I didn't remember them having something else.
Like you could walk around and you were like miniaturized, and they had the Lego pieces or whatever.
That wasn't that Bugs Land? Wasn't that Bugs?
I don't think it was Bugs Land, but I do remember the show though.
Okay.
I know what he's talking about. It was like a 3D thing.
Mm-hmm. I do remember the show. Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. I got to see it when it was in Disneyland, not in Disney World. I don't remember there being a land devoted to this series.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I don't remember. What that might be something interesting to look up,
I don't know. The only thing I can remember was Honey, I Shrunk the Audience.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing I remember being at Walt Disney World.
Yeah. All right. There was. It says Honey, I Shrunk the Kids movie set adventure was a playground at Disney's Hollywood Studios at Walt Disney World. Here. Can you? I don't know if you can see it.
The green screen. Oh,
yeah, the green screen blocks it out.
Get the green screen out and you'd be able to see.
Yeah. We'll have to go to settings.
Yep. And then green screen. There you go. Oh, look, you have the same background as me now.
Now.
I'll take mine.
Oh, gosh.
That's it?
Okay, almost. I think your the cell phone went darker.
Oh.
And then it's too bright. That's funny. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids movie set adventure was a playground at Disney's Hollywood Studios, Walt Disney World in Florida. So there was one. I guess at Hollywood Studios.
Or MGM at the time. I don't know. It could have been MGM.
It would have been MGM at the time. So
MGM at the time, backlot tour area.
That's what I figured, because I remember walking around and they had stuff from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. When I was a kid.
That very much.
Yeah, I remember Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. But
I was like 12 years old or something like that.
They must have taken that down and left the audience one for a little while longer.
Yeah,
that didn't stay too much longer inside of 2000.
Oh,
they started switching everything up.
So Nick Moranis' son, I guess, is supposed to be Josh Gad.
Could be. I'm trying to picture his face at that age.
It kind of looks like it, and think about it. During that time, he wouldn't be overweight. He'd be a kid. Really. 1989. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe he did voiceover. He might have been like the voice for like the ants or what, something like that. I don't know. That still confuses me for Josh Gad being in the cast list of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, starring Josh Gad. Rick Moranis, obviously. Probably.
Oh, okay. You know what it is? Because they're confusing it. Basically, he was supposed to be the grown-up version of the son. That's what it is.
Okay.
For the reboot. That's what it is.
The Shrunk.
But he wasn't in the original movie.
Okay.
It's for the reboot. I just looked it
Yeah,
up.
because I was going to say, you know what?
Yeah. That's confusing.
Yeah. He's supposed to be the son now, grown up. Because remember, he wore glasses.
Yep.
Gad wears glasses.
Yeah, he would fit the role. That's for sure.
That's what.
And then I guess he was in Shrunk.
That's where it comes together.
So, in my opinion, there's probably 5 movies to this, but I have not seen the last one, which is, I guess, 2019 had a movie called Shrunk. And
really?
Josh Gad was in it.
I thought there was only 3 movies to this.
No, I didn't see that.
No, there's 5.
It's 5?
Oop.
Oh, wait a minute.
I only thought there was 3.
Hi, guys.
Okay, there's 3.
Hey,
there's 3. I guess there's 4 now. There's one called Shrunk, which is the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids number 4, I guess.
Was that just
there
the
were
kids?
only 3.
I don't know. There's
Honey,
4
I Shrunk
now.
the Kids, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, and then
Honey, We Shrunk
Honey,
Ourselves.
We Shrunk Ourselves.
And then Josh Gad is in the 2019 Shrunk.
Really?
I guess that one is a installment of what's happening after.
Hmm.
Okay, well that one.
I didn't even hear about it, and I guess
I heard the title Shrunk, but you know what? Now that you bring that up, it does seem like I heard something about it, and
I heard something about it.
I never really connected it to.
I didn't connect. They needed to have the same currency, the same Honey, I Shrunk, or something like that. You know, something.
Yeah, but did it come out yet though?
Yes, it says it's 2019.
Really?
Said 2019, so 5 years ago.
Maybe it was so bad that they shrunk it away somewhere into the
guess.
lot.
Oblivion, yeah.
You
Because
know.
I'm not really reading up on it here.
So, because I remember the first one. Such
Okay, so they started Shrunk production
before the
in,
pandemic.
in 2019.
Right.
Then the coronavirus happened. Everyone got laid off,
Yep. That's not surprising.
and then they were inches from starting, and then the COVID hit,
Right.
and inches from starting again. And the schedule exploded with conflicts.
Oh, wow. So I guess they scrapped it.
And budget got
Yeah.
the best of us, and if you want it, let your local Disney know. And they
Yeah.
already have a few photos. That would have been cool. I would have wanted to see that.
I don't know, because I mean,
think
it's
the
not. It
original-
honestly,
It said it was supposed to be the return of Rick Moranis. So
That's what I heard.
maybe that might have been good if the return of him after
Yeah.
3 years.
if they connected it, it
4.
might have been good with Mick Moranis, because you're
yeah.
looking at three good. You're looking at three. They were stupid movies, but they were fun stupid.
Yes.
It was
It's
kids'
funny,
movies.
stupid, and I like the
Stupid
first one better.
movies. I remember standing in a long line waiting for it, and it was literally sold out.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. It was that popular.
the first
That
one
was
or the
so
second or third
mad.
one?
But eventually we did go see it, and I enjoyed it. It was
Okay,
a great film.
man.
I mean, I was a young
Yeah,
adult
it
by
was
the time
great.
this.
I love that
By
one.
the time this came out, I was a
1989.
young adult. Y'all were still kids.
Yeah, I was 6 years old.
I was in my heyday of my partying days.
I was 6.
I think I was 6.
I was in
too
the
when it came
heyday
out.
of my partying days.
I was 9. Well, it came out in
And then
89.
went-
Yeah, it came
because
out in 89.
Yeah, I was 9.
And
came
I
out.
was born in 1983.
I was born in
Uh-huh,
1981.
You would have been 8.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
the year I graduated, and I was partying
That
in
was
the
8.
heyday. So
Oh gosh. I liked the movie, the
I
original
loved it.
one. I
liked it.
vaguely remember number 2 and 3. I agree with a lot of people's synopsis that
Mhm.
the second movie was basically the same movie as number 1, but it was like in different order, and that was
Yeah.
a big.
You know what? I got a question for you guys,
Sure.
because I've always thought this. Do
Hmm.
you think anybody else could have pulled that out except Rick Moranis? As crazy as those movies were, I don't think there is
No.
anyone back in
One
those
other
days
person
who could have pulled it off except Rick
During
Moranis.
that era, I could think of one other person that
Who?
might have pulled it off.
I think
And that was John Candy, in my opinion.
I don't know.
I
He-
don't know.
Would
I
have
don't
been
think John
interesting.
Candy could have pulled.
What
I
about
Here-
the Christopher Lloyd? He could have pulled it off.
No.
How about
No,
Robin
no,
Williams?
not funny enough.
Robin
Williams.
Williams would have been a good
Robin
one.
Williams
Yeah.
would have been great, but
I
he's
think he
not
could
really
have.
sciencey kind of.
Yeah,
look.
here's the thing
But
about it.
Back to the Future. had
But
just
you know
come
what?
out.
Wait, no, because Robin Williams was in Flubber,
That's right.
the remake.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
so he might have fit pretty
could've
well
done
in that
Maybe.
slot.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, I still say though, I just don't think
Maybe.
anybody could have pulled it off as much as Rick Moranis did.
Mm.
Just
Rick
because
Moranis
you
did
look
great
at
on
the
it.
father figure.
I mean, even the third one was like weird because
Well, I always thought that his films, they always had that he was always like really technology, and everything's being done for you.
there was one movie that Rick Moranis was in that was not the technological, and that was Little Shop of Horrors,
Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
which is a great film in itself and a great musical, and I've seen it.
yeah,
It's
I remember
amazing.
that movie.
That
Yeah,
was a great movie.
long time ago.
I loved it.
Listen,
But he's known for his comedies. Come on,
Right.
Well, look at it this way: anybody that can wear a big fat helmet and knock into everything,
Yeah,
can do it,
Spaceballs all the way.
We
I
gotta
never
remember.
saw that movie.
You gotta remember Rick Moranis. Didn't he come from like the SCTV
Yeah,
He did.
Canada
Yes.
show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where he
got,
came from.
he was on Second City TV.
Yep.
Shows
Him
long
and
before
John
you guys
Candy.
were even.
Him and
You're
John
talking about
Candy.
shows long
That's-
before you guys even knew what those were.
yeah.
Oh, I knew what they were. I watched
Well.
I watched the reruns and stuff.
I've watched very little of that.
Hey,
I
I
don't
got to
remember
watch
that
them
well.
live.
I don't remember what I never got
I
to
never
watch that
watched
live.
that one.
I never got to watch it live. I remember watching reruns.
I don't even remember that.
All I remember was like from his SCTV. He did this one skit. What is the guy's name? Dave. And they were Canadian, and all they drank was a beer.
Oh.
And with their accents, it was hysterical.
My grandpa used to watch reruns because he had the CD set of SCTV.
Oh.
And he also watched it all the time on his DVD player. That was the one thing he always watched, either that or westerns.
Wow.
So take your choice, SCTV or
Well-
westerns. I chose SCTV because it was comedy at least. But
Well, I will say that in Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, my one favorite scene is when he takes the hard rock a guitar and starts playing it, and I'm like, that was so cool in itself, because here he is taking the iconic Hard Rock Cafe guitar, and I thought, oh my goodness, that was
what they do. That was in Vegas, though, right? Did they go to
Yeah.
Vegas?
yeah, they went into Vegas.
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I thought it was pretty funny,
a little
actually.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
With the kid.
So did I, because now how I actually watched the Honey We Shrunk Ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, that one I thought was weird because it was the opposite,
Yes.
but yet at the same time it's like, the jokes were still there and everything, but I honestly did not like that one as better as the other two. And with Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, they had the playground in MGM Studios, as well as the Honey, I Shrunk the Audience.
We
Great.
talked about that
I love
before.
Honey, I
We talked
Shrunk.
about it a little bit, the playground,
Yeah.
and I don't remember.
Yeah,
I don't remember the playground at all.
I do.
At
I do
MGM.
I remember going there.
It was there. It was right next door to it, I believe, if I remember.
Okay.
It was great, and they had that, and it actually looked like the movie set.
Oh, cool.
Which was really
I
kind of cool.
might have liked to seen that. I might have to look
I
up
believe
old
that they have
videos of
the
it.
ant and everything because when we used to get the old the promo videos, for when you go on your Disney vacation,
Yeah.
they would show each park, and then when you got to MGM, they actually showed it, and I thought this is really cool because that was when that came out and everything.
Yes.
And I actually did the Honey, I Shrunk the Audience.
I've done it.
Yeah, I
It
thought
was
that
not
too.
in Disney. It was not in Disney World. It was in Disneyland. So it's been on both coasts.
No, it was in Disney World because
No, I didn't do it in Disney World.
Oh, okay.
That's all I meant.
Oh, okay.
I did it in Disneyland. They didn't have
nice.
the park beside it. They just had
Cool.
the Honey, I Shrunk the Audience.
Yeah, I did the audience, and I don't ever remember in that part.
I
You
do.
must not pay attention to it much.
Yeah, I did the audience thing, and then I did the little park thing too, because I remember, like you said, they had the ant, they had like the forest, like the grass, they had
Yeah.
the Lego pieces.
Yeah.
Man,
Mhm.
I might have to try to find a video of
I
it,
never
POV
tried
of
that.
it somewhere.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was so cool though because you actually felt like you, and that theater would move, and I mean move. So
Okay.
so I think that the idea for with that it's tough to be a bug, I think came from that. So
Okay.
I think because with the way that it works and it's tough to be a bug, it's sort of like the same concept. And I thought, how cool to redo it as it's tough to be a bug
Yeah.
in the Tree of Life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the movies. I thought they were really, really, really cool.
Yeah. I would like to see Rick Moranis come back, even if it is
I
for a
would.
short time.
Most of us
Absolutely.
would. We all would.
Maybe documentary would be cool, like behind the scenes of what you had to go through to do.
But
what
he
you
gave
did.
up acting.
Yeah.
You guys got to remember, these guys were in their young heydays when you guys were kids.
Yeah, I
mean,
know.
And those guys, and you got to think about that. Most of those guys have probably 10 to 20 years on me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Moranis, yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He's
And
getting
you think
older,
about
but
it,
he wants.
I'm now in my early 50s, so
I know he wants.
You know,
He's willing to
they're in
come
their
back.
they're in their
some
mid
way.
60s at least.
Yeah. Well,
They're in their
that,
late
that doesn't really
60s.
say anything. Look at Clint Eastwood. I'm sorry.
I
I'm not
hear you.
saying, yeah, but how many of those old actors are actually still?
Woohoo!
Most of them are starting to step aside.
So
No.
a lot of them are stepping aside. There's a few that,
And now we got
they come
nothing
back
but a
when
bunch
the
of
right moment
clowns
comes.
acting, as far as I'm concerned.
They come back when the right moment comes for most of those. It seems like.
Well, you see a lot of them too. Like they go to a lot of the Comic Cons and stuff.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
conventions.
That's why they
See
go to
them
the
there
movie.
because that's how mostly they make their
I
money.
actually read somewhere that the kids, they were and they were very upset when the aunt died.
Oh,
and that was a very traumatic
Oh yeah, that
thing
was
for them to do.
Yeah.
Because it was like, that's aunt, so it's like, but yeah, but
they could have done that differently. They didn't. They should have made it so that he survived at the very end, and he was like an ant. They made one of those glass ant farms, and he could have been one of the main ones.
Yeah,
I know.
but think about it this way: as far as the ant part dying, you got to understand that those kids were learning about life throughout that movie. Even though it was fun comedy, there was a lesson to bring about life being taught in there as far as that message.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's part of it. The fact of it is you've got animals that are prey, and then you got the animals that are the hunters. So
yeah.
But
I mean, don't get me wrong. I didn't like when the ant died either. But
I didn't either. But one of my absolutely favorite scenes is, of course, the very iconic, which is he's in the cereal bowl and he's got the Cheerios. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I'll be one better than that. Give me the big gigantic. I want the big gigantic Oreo cookie. Give me the big gigantic Oreo cookie. That would take me forever to eat. And I'd be in seventh heaven.
Also the little Debbie's the oatmeal pies.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about your product placement.
Yeah, product placement was pretty cool. Lego, that's where they slept out the first night.
Yeah.
I like the
favorite moment. Probably would have been a ride.
They didn't have no McDonald's placement in there.
Oh,
okay, that's it. I'm complaining.
Think about that. A Big Mac would be a Big Mac.
It's like as big as a house.
But the Oreo part was like kind of cool, when they were like, with the eating the cream. But I would say that my favorite part, I think, was the ant, basically with the defending the kids.
Yeah,
that was my favorite part. And then Ant died.
And that defending the kids was really cool. I did really like, and I thought always that when I first seen it, that would have been cool to be able to go onto like a roller coaster that looks like a bee.
Yeah.
Flying around, going around in circles.
Yeah.
Flying over a big, huge forest of grass.
Right.
That would have been so cool.
You're gonna forget the lawnmower scene too. That's
the
lawnmower.
Yes, the lawnmower.
The kid comes and he's like, "Don't step on it. Wait." And he comes in this thing and he's like halfway looking.
That whole classic scene where they end up in the lawn till they get out of that lawn. the photography for those days was awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
what they were able to do with that was just
just him on his own little contraption there with the magnifying glass.
Yeah,
because he's just laying across like this, going around, just trying to look
going around in circles, and then the wife was doing the same thing. She's like, "Gosh, dang it!"
And then when the mom finds out, she's like, "What?" It's like, you know, that mom reaction, like, "What?"
It's
wait.
Classic. Most iconic classic moment is when she gets stunned enough that she just basically falls over backwards.
I love that scene. As soon as the baby comes out and he says peekaboo, and she's like, and he's like a little bit, and then she faint. I almost died laughing. That was great. I love that part.
Iconic.
Very
iconic.
Love it.
Oh. Now, most of these moments that we're talking about, I would say about 80% of them are probably from the first movie. The second and third movie were were nice niblets, but they weren't really that good of movies in the gist of things.
Yeah, the third movie was kind of getting a little old. I don't think it did very well at the box office.
Okay.
The first one did it good. The second one did okay, and the third one was like, all right, this is getting too much because the way it ended.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it was like Mike said, it was a little weird.
Yeah, because
it's like they were trying to expand it, but
it didn't work.
No,
the third one, but the first two were fine. But I think for me, they waited too long for the third one.
It's kind of like saying it's like the Home
years after the second.
It's like the Home Alone films. They went a little too far with that.
Yeah.
Well, you can't really say anything about Star Wars, I guess. See how well
there's a lot of movies out there you could say.
Hold on a second, guys. I gotta go. I will be back.
Right.
He'll be back for you, probably, Dave.
Probably. Actually, has anybody shown you guys what you want to talk about some work that somebody does that needs to go into animation? I'm thinking this guy needs to go to work for Disney. This came in the mail today or the other day. This guy does you want to talk about somebody, we've all seen his videos. I think Disney needs to hire Chris.
Oh, of course. Everything he does.
Yeah.
With his editing, the sound bites, everything.
Oh, yeah. He's been getting some Lollapaloozas lately.
Yeah.
Some of these streams that have been going on at night, if you haven't caught some of these streams, I know you know what I'm talking about, Nick, because they've been going on.
Because I'm watching it. It's like, oh my.
Streams. I'm like, holy mackerel.
I don't want to mention any names who does it, but we know who it is.
Yeah, but I mean, see, here,
it's funny.
And getting back to the movies here.
Yeah.
This is what Disney is missing. That kind of functionality. I mean, you think about it. It took really great Imagineers to come up with that kind of, just the thinking out of the box.
Yeah.
And you didn't see that type of out of thinking, even in the 80s. You really didn't see that kind of out of thinking in the box too often even through the 80s.
Well, that's what the writing was that good. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the only person that I remember that was really far out of the box during that time was one other person. That was Ernest, probably. If you think about it, most of his shows, he was like techie, but he was like a goofball the whole time.
Yeah.
You're talking about Ernest, the one
Ernest goes to whatever. Yeah,
Ernest goes to camp. Ernest scared stupid. Ernest in the army.
Ernest scared stupid.
Another funny one.
Ernest Saves Christmas.
Not very many people know about this one.
It kind of reminds me of all these It kind of reminds me of all these three movies. They were stupid, but they were funny.
He was pretty funny in that role. I'm telling you.
Listen.
But it started as a TV show first. That's the amazing part.
Yes.
Well, and then it just advanced into movies.
It didn't even start as a TV show. It started out as those appliance commercials.
Yes.
That's right. It was appliance commercials.
Appliance commercials. Always talking about Vern. Hey, Vern.
Yeah.
And then it just went into the movies.
If you guys want to see a Goldie, but no one knows about it, Ernest Goes to Disneyland. Yes, there is one. It's on YouTube only. and it is the opening.
Oh crap! Now you're gonna get me looking right after we're off.
Yeah, well, the
I'm
opening, and he wrote it the first day that the first ride that was Ernest for the Disneyland Splash Mountain.
I think I do remember that because I remember seeing clips of it. I do remember that.
He did a skit. He with Cletus, and
I mean, yeah. The one best one out of all the ones that Ernest did was actually.
I like when he went to
one
park.
About the Christmas story. The Christmas story was good, but that was really good. It was funny and stupid, but it was emotional. I mean, it was really
when he
good.
saves Christmas.
Yeah, Ernest. Yes, Ernest saves Christmas.
Ernest saves Christmas.
I think that was more of his serious Ernest films than out of all.
Well, how many taxi cabs are going to stop in the middle of the road to pick up a tree?
Like when he's flying in and he goes.
Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't he? That would be the one person. Ernest would be the one person I would have seen like replace Rick Moranis, maybe.
That I actually could have seen that. How'd you like?
I could have seen it.
It
would have been towards the end of his era.
Really. The guy out of the cab because he
wasn't his last movie for Ernest in 1989 anyway, if I remember correctly, or was it 90s?
I think it was 90s.
It was 1990s.
He actually died of a heart attack or something. He died of a natural
cause he did the voice of Toy Story.
Yeah, he did.
But then suddenly he had
Slinky
a heart
Dog?
attack or something.
Oh, Slinky Dog. Okay,
yeah,
he was the original voice. That's the one that changed over the years, though.
But then after he'd done that, he shortly died thereafter. I think.
Yep.
He died in 95, 6, somewhere around there.
Probably when Toy Story came out.
Something like that. Because that was a tragic loss. I mean, he was.
Yeah.
Let's face it, he was one of those other iconic. Because you attach.
No one thinks of him as iconic.
Commercials.
No one thinks of him as iconic, but he did start late in his life, and he was very, very popular during that age.
I just thought of another one. Remember the remake, The Beverly Hillbillies?
Oh,
the movie. He was in that one.
He was.
I just remember that.
Okay, I could see him as Doug Clampett. Yeah, I could see him as Doug Clampett.
He was.
I
just remember that. I'm like, that's right. He was in that film.
You know what? That movie is in a class of its own because I wouldn't even know that one.
That was the corniest movie ever. I mean, you talk about almost like a parody of the Beverly Hillbillies. That was it.
I don't know. That one.
Yeah.
The one about Ernest in the Army is not too.
Ernest in the Army is really good. Behind. You know what? Tell me one Ernest that does not make you laugh.
I can't think of any that don't make me laugh.
The last one he did, which was the more serious one he did, I think, might not make you laugh that much, but it still made you laugh.
What was the last one where he went to Africa? Ernest goes to Africa.
Ernest goes to camp. Everyone knows Ernest Goes to Camp. That's the most popular of his movies.
So that is a good question. Could you actually see him playing the father of those kids in Honey I Shrunk?
Wouldn't that change up the scenario so much? He would.
I actually wouldn't. I would like how much that
would
actually change the film a little bit.
It would probably change the film because he would have been one of the crazy science doctors almost. He would do like the really good crazy science kind of guy because he already has that on his repertoire, and he always does the things that do it for himself. He did it in all of his movies.
Because I'd like to see, the question I would think is how would they put Vern into it? Because he's always doing something.
Vern has to be in it somewhere.
Listen, Vern has been there.
So if that happened, I would say Vern would probably be his next door neighbor. Whatever that guy's name was, that was trying to fish. That's all he was trying to do. That's what would have been Vern.
Yeah, because you never saw Vern. You just
nope.
You heard him talking to him.
You heard him talking.
He was the cameraman. That was basically it.
Yeah,
and that's what it made it seem like.
Yeah.
The Christmas one, that was funny though. When he goes to Vern's house, he has
oh
all this
God,
music he fixed with the lights, and there goes all the lights and the wires. That was hysterical. And then then when they leave, you see the lampshade fall down to the ground.
Do you know
chandelier
streaming services that have Ernest? I can't find him anywhere. Is he Universal? Is he HBO?
I thought he was Universal.
He might be Universal.
Yeah, his movies were Universal, I believe.
Yeah. Definitely not Disney, that's for sure.
It should have been, because I'll tell you what, he would have made them some money. They were stupid and funny, but they racked in money. I mean, they weren't the top grossing things, but
what about someone like Steve Buscemi?
Steve Buscemi?
Buscemi, yeah. He was around 1980s. He was still around. Not that popular.
I don't think so. No, I think he's more of a serious actor, not really of a comedy, in my opinion.
I guess so, but he was in he was Crazy Eyes in Mr. Deeds.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few films that play comedy, but I don't really see him as like a Rick Moranis like kind of role.
Okay,
that he did.
Yeah,
I don't see that.
I don't think of anyone else from the 80s or 89.
No, there really wasn't.
The Ernest or him, or maybe.
Here's the thing: if
Robin Williams,
if you look at the things that were stepped out, you would most of those movies that came out in the 80s.
Yeah, they didn't.
It was more. They were more of the. You were seeing a lot of like Madonna starting to get into the films.
Yeah,
and some of the singers getting into the, into the films. So they were more serious adult films than they were comedies or whatever Disney put out.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody that would actually from the 80s that actually could do what Rick Moranis did.
Here's one. Wait, here's one. Here it's off the wall.
Let me ask you.
You know what? John Candy was around during that time, but he was Uncle Buck. If you think about it, that's the exact year that Uncle Buck came out, 1989.
Oh yeah, well yeah, because John Candy started in the late 70s, early 80s on Saturday Night Live. Because he was also with Chevy Chase, or no? Did he come from Second City? There's one that
he was SCTV.
Yeah, I was going to say he was SCTV.
Bill Murray was SNL.
Yeah,
Bill Murray was SNL, but during that year he was also in a different movie, which would have been Ghostbusters #2, if I remember correctly. That was 1989.
Yes.
Yeah, that was Bill Murray.
Yeah, possibility. Yeah, I remember the Ghostbuster too.
And Dan Aykroyd. Yeah. Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd, yeah.
Yeah, they were on SNL.
Yeah, they were on SNL, yeah.
Because most of them either got started on Second City TV or SNL.
What about
Chase, Bill Murray?
What about he's not really a comedy, but Tom Hanks came out with a comedy that year. Turner and Hooch. I don't know. He's not really comedy. Yeah,
no.
He's really up there in the chops.
He is part of comedy, but he's more too serious, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can see him playing comedic parts.
Oh,
but not whole comedic things, because he can switch from a moment's notice from being comedic to almost a serious person.
Yep. I found another one that's 1989. Steve Martin.
Oh Lord! Now Steve Martin.
Yeah.
Steve Martin. He was in Parenthood in 1989.
Yeah, but you know what? That movie, I think that was out of all Steve Martin's movie.
Yeah,
that was a flop. That was a flop.
But it was still there.
That was a flop.
Parenthood.
That was a total flop.
That was a total flop. Yeah.
I mean, because that had a few good actors in it and actresses in it, to be the honest truth. I can't believe it was as a flop as it was, but it
yeah. Well, that wasn't a really good comedy film. No.
Oh, well, I still say the best one came out that year. Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh, well, I should say that came out in 86, I think, but Roger Rabbit.
I thought it was 88.
Yeah, it might have been 88 because...
That's what I think.
Yeah, I think it was.
Or,
you
could go towards a Look Who's Talking, if I remember correctly. That was 1989. Bruce Willis.
Oh, Bruce Willis.
But
no, Bruce Willis.
No, yeah. I can't even see John Travolta doing it.
No,
and John Travolta's had some pretty decent films. Because I can remember him and his wacky hairdo on Welcome Back, Carter.
Yeah.
Jeez, oh, Pete.
That accent, though, he had on that show, that was pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, boy. So I probably pretty much agree. Rick Moranis was the perfect cast member for it. I couldn't think of anyone else that would have been good, except for a few that we mentioned. Ernest, maybe. But if Ernest was in it, it would have changed the whole scenario. It would have.
It would have been more wackier.
Ernest film, basically.
And I could see John Candy maybe pull it off.
John Candy, maybe. He had the chops. But it would have been different with him, too, probably.
Yeah, I was going to say the storyline would have been different for that.
Well, how about, wait a minute, here's another one. Martin Short.
Oh.
Ooh.
He's not really a serious actor. He's a comedic actor.
Yeah, he's a comedic. What about Danny DeVito? Was he back then?
Hold on. When did the Three Amigos come out?
That came out around the same year.
I was going to say, I think he was involved with the Three Amigos, I think.
Oh, that was Three Amigos. But
yeah, because that had Steve Martin.
Because Steve Martin was in a 1985 film that we agreed that flopped. Parenthood, sorry.
Yeah, that.
Well, and then it was after that is when I think he did that after that.
Three Amigos came out in 1986.
Oh, it was before it.
It was before it.
So he was there.
It was before
he could have
been it.
He could have been in it. Man.
That's the way I could think of, really.
Yeah, Martin Short might have been it. And again, though, even though Martin Short was a different type of comedic, so again, I think the storyline would have been a little bit different than what it was for that movie. So, there's a few possibilities that could have done it, but honestly, with the way it was, Rick Moranis did a great job.
Yeah.
What about Chevy Chase? I know he was in the. He was.
Chevy Chase? No, I don't think so.
Chevy Chase.
He's too.
No.
You know what? But he's been in comedy.
He's too comedic.
Plus, he was doing the National Lampoon's movie at the time.
Okay.
That's true, too.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he would have been a little bit too more comedic than what it would have called for.
Yeah,
and Rick Moranis had that funny, but he could be that parental. He just put enough of that parental in it.
The adult.
I just can't see as where Chevy Chase, he's too funny. I mean, you look at the movie Fletch and Fletch Returns.
Fletch.
John Lovitz? He could be like the sciencey type.
No, he's way off the walls.
Yeah. Well, at least we're trying to think of comedians that might have fell into the mold.
No. It's
No,
a good one, but I don't think so.
He I like his acting, but I don't see him for that part either.
Hey, Dave.
My favorite for him would be Rat Race. I'm sorry, I love Rat Race for that movie.
Dave,
no,
do you
I've
remember
never
a film?
seen that.
You guys remember a film called Spies Like Us?
Oh my!
That's hysterical.
Oh God.
That was
I remember Spies Like Us. Yeah, I mean, I can't think of anybody else from that time era from the.
I'm still going Martin Short, maybe. That's about it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. If you think of Rick Moranis, you're going to basically think of Ghostbusters or Honey, I Shrunk the Kids films.
Yeah, because Rick Moranis did some of those.
Little Shop of Horrors.
He did cameos. He had small parts in some of those movies that came throughout about that time as well. But his biggest
he was more of a character actor, really, in my opinion.
He was. One of his biggest parts that he'll be remembered probably would be the I Shrunk the Kids.
The Kids and Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah, Little Shop of
Horrors. He was the lead actor in that movie.
Yes, he was good at that. Actually, that was a good one.
He was Spaceballs.
But as a lead actor, though?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, some people say that he was a lead actor because I don't know. Some people like his moment a little bit better than John Candy's.
I don't know if there was any lead actor in that one because the way Mel Brooks does his movies, Mel Brooks movies are way off the wall.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Look at Blazing Saddles.
Look at that movie with Rick Moranis. Come on.
Look at some of those other. Look at the ones he did with
History of the World Part 1.
The History of the World. I mean,
Young Frankenstein.
And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're bad movies. But Mel Brooks was. I really don't think there was any lead characters in those movies per se.
Because they all had a certain amount of percentage of basically acting in that.
Except maybe I will back my track on one movie, Blazing Saddles. Gene, I can't think of the other actors. Gene Wilder and the other guy. Can't think of the colored gentleman's name. But those two would have been the lead actors in those. That and Harvey Korman, because Harvey Korman was the bad guy. So that was one of Mel Brooks that actually had three lead.
Cleavon Little. That's his name.
Cleavon Little. Yeah. So that one actually had three leads, two good guys, and Harvey Korman as the bad guy.
Harvey Korman.
Oh my God! So funny. Don't get me started. Yeah, I actually like them better in Blazing Saddles than I do. I think he did okay on Mama's Family. He was on there for a little bit on Mama's Family when Mama's Family.
Yeah, but he was on a Carol Burnett show, wasn't he?
That's where it started from.
Yeah,
that's where I first saw him. That's where Mama's Family actually was a spinoff of that.
Yeah.
People might remember Rick Moranis as the Flintstones as Bernie.
Barney.
Oh, yes. There
you
go. Yeah, actually, he did do a pretty good Barney. I will give him that.
He did a pretty good Barney.
I think that was one of his last films.
No. He was in Brother. He was a voice actor for Brother Bear.
That
was
2003.
All right.
Yeah, and
that was
way later. Yeah.
After that, I think
right.
He slowed down, and I don't think he's done much since then.
Because after that, I think his kid was trying to grow up, or was that after?
No, his wife passed, and he had to raise the kids. That's what it was.
That's what it was. But that's pretty late for him. I don't know of any 2000 movie except for that one, really, that he was in.
Well, you know what? He was in the this is going a few years ago. He teamed up with Ryan Reynolds with his, what is it, Mint Mobile commercial. Did you guys ever see that one?
Huh. I don't know if I've ever seen that one.
Because they were making fun of it because he was away from acting so long. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds.
What's up? Have to step away for a minute, guys.
Okay. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds was trying to get him back because he was making a joke about it. He even asked him at the end, "So when are you coming back to acting?"
Oh.
And he's like, "I don't know." But that was basically his last appearance on like screen, really.
A really good one to see Rick Moranis in is on Disney Plus. It's called Howard.
Howard.
Yes, it's a documentary about Howard Ashman. Writes and composes songs for such as classic Disney character movies as The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, and Aladdin. And Rick Moranis was like the people that was talking about him, and a bunch of other people were too. But it's a documentary.
Oh, he just came on that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but it wasn't really acting like in a role. It was just
no, it wasn't. But it was a side. Yeah, side. The Twilight Theater. Oh my gosh. I forgot about that movie. Yeah. It was a pretty good series, I would say.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Second and third film, I don't think they flopped as much as they thought they probably would. They could have went more with it, really, and it would have maybe survived it.
I think it could have went like 1 and 2. That was it. I don't think they really needed a third film.
Oh, okay. Well, you got to look at what was it? Jurassic Park number 3 was like a huge flop, but then number 4 turned out pretty good profits. I guess it turned out more than what they paid. So
the Jurassic World movie.
Yeah, Jurassic World. People like
that one was okay, but then from the second and third one, it just went down.
Yeah, it went down.
What are we talking about now? It's not even dinosaurs anymore.
Dinosaurs taking over the earth. What else?
Yeah, but in the last one, it was like more of like these locust bugs.
Dinosaurs.
Yeah, there's nothing to say about that one though.
No. Well, no, I didn't like that at all. I was like, they could just take that and throw it away.
What about Goldblum?
Jeff Goldblum?
Yeah, why not?
It was all right. I could see the third.
Yeah.
For the third film. But for the third film, it was nice to see people come back from the original. That's all I really liked about it. Otherwise, no.
Really. Yeah.
That was really bad. I liked about it. Otherwise, they can just kiss it goodbye.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
They've done too many of the Jurassic movies.
Oh, I kind of agree, but still.
It's way too much. It's kind of like they're burning the light with that. And just, all right, we've seen enough. We know what it's about.
Well, can't really say anything. Universal did that for that franchise. Disney has done it for many others. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's just a money grab.
How are you supposed to know when you're supposed to stop? You just keep going and it might turn out good, Well,
I think after this last one, I think they should stop.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, you can't really say anything. Transformers, all of them have done really well that are the main Transformer movies.
See, now the latest one wasn't that bad though. I have to say that
they
it was
have
pretty
a good
good.
plot in it.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah. So how are you supposed to know if that works or not? I don't know. You know.
Well, it also depends on you have to realize it depends on the director too.
Yeah, that's
who directs
true.
the films. So if you get a crummy director, it's not gonna be good.
Somewhat matters on the directors. You say that, but if you remember right,
and the cast too, of course.
Lucasfilm was not all Star Wars at one time. Remember they had, what was that? Willow. Yes, they did the remake. I did watch it. It was over.
Was it all right? I really didn't get into it.
Yeah, I didn't really get into it, but I like that he was, back. You don't see him in any movie, any series, nothing. He's zero. He got cut out basically. I don't remember
Warwick Davis. That's his name. Warwick Davis.
Yeah, Warwick Davis. Yeah. There you go. Hello. Warwick Davis. Yeah.
Yeah, it's starting to act funny.
That would be, yeah. But he was in Willow, and that was Steven Spielberg, and look how popular that turned out. Not very popular when it first came out.
I actually like that film though.
It was in the theaters.
The movie though.
It was in the theaters, and it was a box office bust.
It was a bust,
no one liked it.
I liked it though when I first saw it. When it came on TV.
I like indie films though. Sometimes you have to find the films that are not very popular that no one knows about. You're like that one, Well,
look at the movie. What's the one? Legend.
Yeah.
When Tom Cruise.
That
wasn't very. I mean, it was a decent film, but it didn't really do well.
Yeah.
Oh well, hey.
A lot of people are debating
movies, on this one. Witch Project.
The Blair Witch Project. No, I would not say that.
It's all fake.
What about the Sanderson sisters? So Hocus Pocus?
The Hocus Pocus, yeah. That didn't do well when it first came out.
Number one didn't do well. Really, number two did better than the original one.
Can we make them disappear?
Yeah, I know, but they're here to stay for a little bit. Dave, will you allow them to come back for Halloween?
No.
Dave.
I say once the candle is melted out, leave them rest in peace.
Sorry, Dave. I guess there's another candle coming because they're already in talks to make number 3.
Yeah, they're.
I know that. That's what I hear that they're making number 3.
Well, number 2, I like that number. If they're going to make a number 3, number 2's
I will
cast,
say this.
I actually
like number 2. I actually liked number 2 than I did number 1.
I liked them both. The favorite moments of both movies was when they were singing to the crowd and they basically made them all turn into zombies trying to chase after someone. Probably
they were hypnotized. Yeah,
hypnotized. Yes, I love that they did that in both films.
Well, it's a good thing I wasn't in the thing. I'd be throwing tomatoes at them. So I don't know if I'd be. I don't know if I'd be hypnotized.
Come on, Dave. It wasn't that bad. I mean, come on.
That original movie. I love that song that they played though on that one, and then I love that they played like a new version, a new song for the new movie because it's all hip and new.
All right, now this is what I gotta say. You guys, you said you like the second compared to the first one. Fine.
Yeah, I
actually like the first one.
It's okay.
The second
one,
one,
okay. I'm not saying it was. I mean, it was okay.
You know
but
what? I would
like
watch the first one to look at what the plot is for the second one.
Okay, so the second one here, this is how I would have went was. I think how they went with it was a little weird with which the girl's fine.
Yes,
but I think they should have included the original, some of the original cast.
Yeah, that might.
Or say one of the daughters.
Yeah,
was the daughter of what's his name? Sam. I forgot the names of the original cast. The girl and the guy.
That would have been nice, but
he was, and then they would come and make their cameo and come in at the end.
If they come, if they make a number 3, that they're going to try to make that girl as the main cast, probably as a witch.
They should bring back some of the originals.
Okay, here's my problem though. Okay, you killed them off in number 2.
What?
Oh no, they came. Wait,
they're still alive.
Yeah, they're still
alive.
Yeah, but you actually killed them off at number 1. I mean, they actually were killed off at number 1.
All three of them, they it looks like they got killed off, but they didn't. I don't think
they got the first one. They got killed off, or they got killed off per se. But they explain how they came back in the second one, as you saw. Yep. Some magical spell or something.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Spell because, what was if I remember correctly, it was because of the candle. So the candle had to be lighted by a virgin. If I remember correctly, it was a virgin, and he had to be a certain amount of age, which was that boy's age.
That was the first one.
I got a problem with that because at that day and age, there wasn't too many left.
Yep.
Trust me, at Generation X.
I agree with you. He was a little older than what he should have been. I have to say for that day.
Times have changed, Dave. Times have changed.
Generation X, I can guarantee you, we had fun after prom. Trust me.
Yeah,
that's all I'm going to say.
He was a few years after that, even in the movie. If I remember correctly, he was 23. He was supposed to be 23 when he did that.
23.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot older than what you were supposed to be. Yeah.
Yeah, prom is definitely over by then.
My only thing is, and I don't. Here's my thing about the whole.
You got 5 to 6 years in between, you know.
Here's the whole Sanderson thing. Okay, I'm okay with Bette Midler because I did like her in some of her movies, like The Beaches. I loved her in the movie Beaches.
Yes, Beaches, that was a good one.
I'm not a big Bette Midler fan. Now I loved Sarah Jessica Parker because she did
Jessica Parker.
But I'm not a big fan of the other one.
Yeah,
Kathy to Jimmy.
Kathy to Jimmy. Never many movies, really.
No, she was more of a character actress. She was on TV shows.
Yeah,
she actually. Let's see. If I'm trying to think, she actually. That was what was the name of her? I can't even think of her name, but I believe she had a talk show, a short run of a talk show, I should say. I don't think there's talk
Kathy
show.
the Jimmy? No, it wasn't her.
No, the one that played Third Sanderson's sister.
Kathy and Jimmy?
I have to take a look. Maybe
are you thinking of someone else, Dave? Maybe.
Nope. I want to think that was Rose. No.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah, Rosie had her own TV show for a long time.
She had hers.
That one lasted.
Rosie.
I have to look. I could be thinking of somebody else. I'm not going to.
I think you're thinking of somebody else.
It could be.
I think I know who you're thinking of. I see her face, but I can't think of her name.
Okay, yeah, it was somebody else. So
yeah.
But you know what? But again, the problem was I honestly think that I don't know. I wish they had done something with their characters a little bit more because it's. I mean, to me, they made Sarah Jessica Parker too dumb. I mean, because I love I love Sarah Jessica Parker because she was good in Sex and the City. She's done a lot of good movies that I loved throughout her career. I don't know much about it. I don't know about the other one. And Bette Midler, like I said, not a big fan, but I loved her in that one that she did with the twins, the business sisters, with when she did it with what's her? Because they had a set of twins and they kind of got mixed up.
That was a good film. I like that.
That was a good film. I thought Beaches was a very emotional film. It was good film.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know. I just.
Big business.
Thank you. Yeah, big business. So, I just wish they might have done something differently with the characters, but still, overall, I thought they did a pretty decent job with them. I'm not going to tear them down because, obviously they're popular and they did pretty good. I got to admit, they did crack me up on certain things. especially like when in the first one when they're in the high school's oven going fire, fire, fire.
I have to admit, with the second one though, I thought it was funny the scene when they went to, what was it, Walgreens?
Oh, the second movie, yeah,
that was funny.
That was a funny moment. It's like here's the modern age.
Here's the modern age, and then they were taking selfies.
Yeah, they were taking selfies.
But the interesting was when they left there. They remember in the first one they all went with the broomstick.
Yes. Oh, I love that scenario that they had on this one.
I love that. And it was
the Roombas that flew in the middle of nowhere.
I think it was the Sarah Jessica. She went on a Swiffer or something like that.
Swiffer, a Roomba,
but in the original she went on with a mop or something.
Yep. A Swiffer wet jet, a regular broom, and 2 Roombas.
I like how they changed that because of the modern age. That was interesting.
Like how they changed that, yeah.
I mean, there was some things in that film I liked. There was.
It's a stupid, funny. It's stupid, funny laugh. Yeah. That's why you. That's why you watch it.
That's what I got for me. That's stupid, funny laugh. Stupid, funny. But some of the stuff was just.
I like also at the very end. The Roombas were the ones to get the Sanderson sisters out of that circle, that salt circle.
If you remember
correctly. Yep,
that was good.
See, I know the movie a little bit.
She's like. She says something about, like, that's my pet or something.
What do you expect from this coming from this next? Well,
I have no idea.
The Roombas, I guess, are going to suck up the salt. There you go.
You never know.
Okay. Yep, you don't know.
Was there any other Disney movie that Rick Moranis has been in that I can think of? Except for maybe Brother Bear. I guess he was a voice actor or not on that 1 and 2. I can't think of any like live action movie that he was in for Disney.
No, just the 3 Honey, the Shrunk movies.
The Shrunk movies. I know Spaceballs was not Disney. That's way out.
Most of the other movies he did has usually with MGM or Universal.
Yeah.
He's been doing
Ghostbusters is not Disney.
Yeah.
No. That's what he'll be known for too.
Brother Bear and Brother Bear 2.
Yeah.
For Disney. That's really it.
Yeah. Kind of sad that he's not in more. He should have been in more.
Yeah, well, there was a certain reason now. So
iconic actor.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. And you know what's amazing about some of those actors is as they got older and they saw where Hollywood was going, some of them said they had enough of the garbage that's going on in there. And
I don't blame them.
And some of them pretty much stepped away from, and some of them had booming careers going on, and some of them said, "I'm done."
Well, you can't really say anything. What was it that I noticed happened like last year? Drew Carey, he has his own Price is Right, basically. He was a movie actor for a while there.
He was doing acting, TV show, and then he just
now he's hosting his own TV show now, and he's doing okay, I guess. Yep.
I will say he's okay.
He's okay.
I like him. I mean, I actually think he does a good job with Price is Right. I mean, I'm a big Bob Barker fan. I mean, it's hard to see anybody replace Bob Barker.
Well, it's the same thing with Price is Right. Would think how long he's been the head of that, and he's changed. He's retiring this year. What's his name? Price is Right. Price is Right. Wheel of Fortune. Sorry.
Oh, Pat Sajak.
Pat Sajak. No more. He's retiring this year.
Yeah, well, don't get me started on Pat. He reminds me of Barney.
Oh,
and I know what I want to do to Barney.
Okay, but think how long he's been at the helm of that show.
Because you know who had been on there a long show that I hated to see pass away was what's his name on. because he hosted other shows too. Was what's his name? Ken Jennings took over for him. What was the one that passed away? What was his name?
I don't know who you're talking about yet.
He hosted Jeopardy for several years.
Oh, Alex Trebek.
Alex Trebek.
Okay.
And that wasn't the first show he did. He had hosted a few other TV shows.
Yeah.
He's another one that I miss as a host because he was awesome.
Yeah. I'm going to have to say where I'm going to be closing this up. This was a good talk about the movie. You know, we owed to Rick Moranis, I guess.
Yeah.
Hopefully he does well. And I might want to try to see him in another movie if he does ever come out with one again. That'd be nice.
Maybe Ghostbusters film.
Ghostbusters.
The other one, maybe. That'd be nice.
I can't say anything about the Ghostbusters because they did remakes of it after the main cast was gone. So they had the one that was the chicks. At least they had the
not that one.
Actually,
I don't even count that one.
That one, if you watch it, they have the cameos for a lot of the original.
I gotta ask you, what did you guys think of the one where they actually brought back Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, and they did the ghost of what's his name because he had passed?
Harold Ramis.
I actually kind of like that one. I'm glad they tied that one into the original Ghostbusters.
I thought it was great.
One.
I got emotional.
Yeah, I like the new Ghostbusters too, where they had where his son basically wasn't it his son that was started driving the Ghostbuster thing because he was having tremors in the middle of that town.
That's his grandson.
Grandson, yes.
Grandson.
Yeah, I thought that one was okay. They made it into a kids movie, but that's fine. I don't care about that.
Oh, I liked it.
It was like
I liked it. I mean, I'm glad. And the best thing they did was they were able to at the end they were able to tie it into the original
very end.
I was just going to say
they walked in.
I mean, but during the movie, the
cameo and
they dropped the eggs. They dropped the eggs about it, and then they tied it all in at the end.
I was just going to say, if you watch the first film and you watch this one, you're going to see a lot of stuff from the first one in this movie.
Yeah,
and how they ended it was more of a tribute to Harold Ramis.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. That was a good movie. Yeah, I like that one.
Hopefully, this next one will be good too.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to see Rick Moranis come back, maybe as a cameo.
Yeah.
Right. Cameo. Maybe he can. I don't know. Yeah.
I still say you got to be careful of doing these remakes. So that's the issue because if
you're going to do a remake with Rick Moranis,
if you got a good series, you can actually ruin it with remakes.
Now I don't want him as the main character if he's going to have, but as a cameo, sure. But I would want to see him, look as like a cameo if you're going to do the Honey I Shrunk the Kids like reboot kind of thing. Have him as like a professor. Yeah, he survived and he's like doing really well at a college. And he's like a professor of what he's doing.
By now he would be retired. What are you talking about?
No.
Retired, I guess.
You know what you do? You call it Honey, I Shrunk the Grandparents.
Yeah, Honey, I Shrunk the Grandparents.
Honey, I Shrunk the Grandparents.
Honey, I Shrunk the City. Wouldn't that be funny? The whole city, like all the people, they're small.
Well, have the grandparents run into the city.
I'm not going to say anything about that.
It's interesting. Wouldn't that be fun?
I'm not going there. Anyway,
that's the problem now. They would not know where to go. Maybe reboot the original and have it so they recast. Disney likes to do that. I'm sorry.
Well, Disney's been doing too much of that.
I already know that. I'm going to have to leave it at that, though. I guess, Disney, if you want to take that tidbit, go for it. I don't know. Put in some of the old cast if you do that, please. Put them as cameos. I don't care.
That's what I say. If you're going to do a reboot or something, have some of the original cast come in as cameos or whatever.
Yeah, at least tie it in.
To bring back the original audience and you have more people watching it. Otherwise,
Mary Poppins Returns.
Interest.
Just reference to Mary Poppins Returns.
Exactly. They brought back Dick Van Dyke. I mean, come on.
Yes.
Yeah, but see, they were able to tie that in, and they tied the story in.
Perfect.
But still put an updated twist to it.
Yes.
That's what I loved about the updated one. Because
Mary
they still
Poppins'
kept the
sister. That was
storyline.
fantastic.
They just
Upside down
updated the version and tied it back in, which was good. Because think about it. It was him and his kids, but it was still the son of Mr. Banks.
Yep.
And they did the whole thing perfectly. And they had cameos up the kazoo. They should do that if they're going to do that.
Yep.
The kazoo. Okay. They had a lot of cameos from the original.
There we go. That sounds better.
I'm going to head out. My dinner's just about ready.
All right.
Hey.
I'm hoping to be in Dave's after I get done with this. So.
Yes.
Hopefully.
In fact, I got to get ready for it. No.
Yeah. It's a good time to quit right now. So, good review. I gave it probably all three of them. So, it goes from like 5 point. Okay, so 1 out of 10. First one, I give it a 9.5. It's pretty high up there. I kind of like it as one of my most favorite comedy live action films almost of all time. It's quite a ways up there. Second movie, 4.5 out of 10 probably, and then third movie I would probably say about 4.5 out of 10 for myself.
All right, well, for the first one I give it like a 9.5.
Yeah,
in that area. It was one of the better ones.
Yeah.
Second one I would probably give it the second one wasn't that bad. I'd probably give that maybe a 7.
Okay.
The third one is going to be a little lower. I would probably give that a 4.55, somewhere around there. It wasn't that great, but it was weird.
Yeah.
I'm like Nick. I mean, the first one I thought was pretty good. So, I'm up there around a 9.
Yeah.
Second one, I'm around about a 7.5.
Okay.
And then the last one, give it about a 5.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't off the charts, but it wasn't.
It wasn't that bad, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
Could have been a lot better.
I mean, I've seen
how they went with it was.
Honestly, that third one came out. I've seen a lot. When that third one came out, I had seen a lot worse movies that had come out than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was still enjoyable to watch, but
it
wasn't that great.
I'll try to figure out what we're going to review next week.
I think we said it before. The biggest thing with the third one was that it pretty much it was the same storyline, except it was dealing with the adults,
the parents, and then the kids. Yeah, it was just reversed. That's all.
Yep.
Yeah.
By the second and third movie, I think they just lost their plot because the first one was so good.
Well, think about this.
The whole thing.
Now you think about when the second two came out. Those came out in the 90s.
Yeah.
Think about it. Disney's thinking was done. It took Pixar in the middle of the 90s. Think about it. That's when Toy Story came out, and it took Toy Story to say Pixar.
Yeah.
I could just see it now. I could just see now, like probably the guy in the room, he just thought of I said, how about this, guys? How about this third movie? How about we do it with the parents, then the kids? What do you think about that? That's all it was.
Yeah. I mean, because you got to remember.
Like,
they bought it.
The only thing...
and they didn't even do like screenwriting and make it different. Nothing.
It's the
same thing. Both. I'm like, no.
Because that side of Disney,
do a remake.
The writing...
Make it different if you're going to do a remake.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if you're looking at it this way, that time of era, the Disney on the live action side was definitely going downhill. The only thing that saved Disney was think about the animated movies that were coming out. At that point in time, you had Beauty and the Beast that was coming out. You had the Little Mermaid coming out. At that point, Disney's animation
during those eras.
Animation was still not bad, but it hadn't quite started falling at that point.
They weren't even concentrating that much on movies during that era.
No.
So they were more on the Disney World. Hey, this is New Disney World. This is the land. that's when Shanghai Disney opened up, was 95, if I remember correctly.
Mm.
It's around the era. That's when a lot of things happened. So,
indubitably.
Yep. Have a great night, all. I'm gonna be heading out. My dinner's finally just
Bye,
ready.
everybody.
And